Welcome back, guys, to the Bear and Scully podcast with me, Sean Scullion, aka Scully, Owen Mallon, aka the Bear, Aidan the Face for Radio behind the scenes, and today we're joined with Martin McCullough. Martin, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks
Very
for coming
welcome.
up, Martin.
Yeah.
The roads have not been great this morning, and bringing these city slickers up out of the
That's right, into the sticks.
their sat nav doesn't work anymore.
I'm coming from the
They get
concrete
disorientated.
jungle.
Martin, thanks very much for coming
Thank
on. We're going to cover a lot of different topics. There's tragedy, and you've lost your son, and then you've been on a journey since then.
Roller coaster I've been on.
You've been on a roller coaster. We've DMTs in the middle of this. We don't know if it's an awakened or a spiritual journey, but it's a path we're going to go on. But before we get into all this here, we'll go back and find out where Martin's from.
From Turf Lodge, not really much of a tale growing up. Grew up in Turf Lodge. Look back now, like I was a bit of a wee fucker growing up, just like everybody else. Threw out of school at an early age. To be honest, didn't think I would amount to anything until I became a daddy. It was really the only thing I was good at. Then, from I lost my wee lad, there's stuff like this here I started doing. Just videos on my phone. It's like sent me on a road to here where I am now today, where I can actually say I can do something in my life to help other people by just sharing my journey.
Well, Martin, before we come to that, then let's find out something about you. You become a parent, then you wee boy. Your partner, and when did you?
Yeah, we had one such a young age, I was with his wife, and I think we were 15. Always knew each other, sort of like grew up together, all run about together, and then me and her just must have found each other, and a couple of years later we had Owen. We were just two young kids with a kid. It was a hard out road, but we did it, a lot of ups and downs, and it's the best thing ever happened. And then would have been one, and me and her just went our separate ways. Still now to this day we're really good friends. We've had ups and downs like everybody else, but yeah.
And what age were you when you had Owen?
I think I was 17 when I found out she was pregnant, and 18 when he was born, and she's a year younger than me.
It
Had to grow up real quick, the man up real quick.
You're only a couple then, like, aren't you?
Oh, definitely.
17 when you think back to it.
Took me a long time to grow up, but he was a big part of making me a man, which I believe I am today.
And then, so obviously, then you separated and co-parented, and
Yeah.
then what age was Owen?
When he passed away,
When he passed away.
almost 13.
13.
Yeah.
And you were co-parenting then? Did you have him the
We were
weekend?
co-parent. My own lived with me, but it's just the way it was. There was no, as I say, we were two young kids with a kid. We spent a lot of time with my mum because we lived, when I ended up with my ex-wife now, when I was with her, we lived in Poglass. My own liked being in Turf Lodge, around his mates, whatever else. It's understandable. So any time he was off school, he would have stayed with my ma, or he would have stayed with his granda Bubbles. Because me and his mum, we didn't live in Turf Lodge. Yeah. But when Owen passed, he lived with me. He won't live with me for a long time. But it's just the way it was. It's not like when we were young, we went through battles with courts and stuff. Biggest regret I ever have, I shouldn't have put his mummy through it. But that's where it was, and it's just the way life went, and he was with me. He lived with me.
And then he was a granny boy then when he stayed down with your mum, and
he would have stayed with my mum and his granda Bubbles, his mummy's daddy. Anytime he was off school or anything, that's where he would have stayed. And I never stopped him. He had his own room, my mum's and stuff, because that's where he was a wee kid, like being out in the street and with his friends and way up the road. He didn't like it. And in my house at the time, me and my wife were constantly, like, me and her should have never been together in a million years, two completely different people. So I think that played a big part of him was wanting to stay down the road. It was constantly yak in the house, whatever else. Don't think any kids should be doing that.
And then, so, you obviously, Owen passed away. How did that all come about?
Well, it was 3rd of January 2020. It was my 32nd birthday. And we went out, had something to eat, sitting in the fountains. A lot of people would say to me, oh, your birthday, terrible. I'm grateful it was my birthday. So me and my son would have been like more best friends. We were constantly always yakking at each other. But this day we were sitting, we were having something to eat, me, my mum, my sweet stepdaughter, and my other son, my nieces. And he got off, they were all arguing about how they were going to get home. He's like, stop being lazy, it's only up a straight walk. My wee lad got up from the table and just went like that, put his thumb up, big smile, jogged. He's dead in the fitness because he was an up-and-coming boxer. And he just jogged home. And I went home, it's funny, because I went home a couple of months before I discovered The Secret. And I watched it, because I couldn't really read, so I watched it on Netflix. And I started putting all these wee things into my life, writing stuff down, still do it this day. And that morning, I went home, and the kids that morning getting up for your birthday, they got me a wee positive book. So I went home, he jogged home, I jumped in the car. I was actually driving Sean McComb's car at the time because my car blew up a couple of weeks before Christmas. So we jumped into his car, me and Dahi, my other son, went home, and I picked the wee book up and I read it. It's on 10 pages. And when I got to the end of it, it says positive thinking's about if you go through a hard time, but you come out the other side, and that's the main thing of it. So when I said that the last page, I went, right, my car just blew up there before Christmas still. There's Christmas over, it's expensive to get a car fixed nowadays. It was a BMW at the time. But I had a Land Rover car because Sean was over fighting in Dubai, and it was like, right, that was my tough time to set the book down. See, the minute I set the book down, it's about to hit play on the TV. I was watching Gavin and Stacey at the time. It's like it happened yesterday. And my phone rang, my mate Jim. He says, your wee lad's been knocked down. I went, fucking, can I curse? Oh. I says, you stupid fucker, because the Ulster Championships were coming up boxing. He was an up-and-coming boxer. He was just ready to take off. He says, stupid fuckers broke his arm or something. So me and Daddy jumped in the car. And as we were getting down still, it was a wee stupid fucker. But the closer I got to where the accident happened, there was traffic, and I was trying to talk on the phone, and no one would answer me. I was going, is he all right? No one would answer me. And I looked around, my wee lad was praying. Oh, sorry.
It's all right.
My wee lad was praying to let his brother be okay. So closer we get down, I knew it was worse than what it was. I remember jumping out of the car, still 9 days dead, I don't even know who came and got Dahi. I remember jumping out of the car and just running. And the first person to see me was Steve Waltz, to see all the ambulances. Fucking serious. Police wouldn't let me pass, it's like, let me see my fucking son. Sorry, 1 second.
Sorry.
Take your time.
It's like, let me see my son, I wouldn't. And just remember dropping on my knees and praying. I wouldn't say I'm a religious guy, God's always been a big part of my life. I always blessed myself being in church on special occasions, stuff like that. Wouldn't say I was really religious, still now I wouldn't. But I prayed to God, and the ambulance passed, and I get into my niece's car. Got to the hospital, but it was traffic, it was mad. By the time I got to the hospital, I didn't see how many people were. I can remember running up a hill and getting into 2 doors, and it's Owen's mum looking at me and saying, don't go in there. It's just like, just give me the result. The doctor came walking in and just said he didn't make it. I remember dropping, everything just left my body and it dropped. And I got up and I was thinking I was going in the next room and seeing a mangled kid. But it was the mark on my son. Kind of cut in the back of his head, his clothes, he was really in his style, his clothes, there was the mark on him. And I just remember saying, was this an accident? People were like, it was a living, it was like being in a neighbour. And I can remember someone saying, yes, it was. And I walked out of the room and I said to the nurse, where's your church? She was like, it's up there and wait for him. And just put me in a quiet room. She says, that room's free. And I went in and prayed to my brother, who my son's named after. He passed away 18 years ago now. And I prayed to him and said, oh, brother, just take him, look after him, I'll be here in a minute. Fuck. So I walked out of the room in my head straight away, I can't live without my kid, especially not him. He was my best friend. So I remember walking out of the room, it was like, I knew what I was doing after I prayed to my brother, I said, I'll be here in a minute. And I knew what I was doing, I was walking out of the children's hospital, if you know, there's a car parked like a drop. I was just going to flick myself off and lap my head and go away to my son. I remember walking down the corridor, it was like, if you ever watch a film and a grenade goes off, everything's slow motion, madness, but you can't take it in, it's like all, it's mad. And I walked out, straight over the bridge, I was just ready to flip myself off, and a voice said to me, clear as day, the way you're speaking to me now, don't do it, there's something you have to do. I believe that voice was God, I've said this a million times, 100%. Maybe it was my subconscious, I'm saying it was God. And as that voice happened to turn, my uncle was there and he said something. I don't know what he said, but I hadn't seen this uncle on the way, but it wasn't his voice I heard. And man was sloping down the wall and saying, right, Marty, man the fuck up here. You have to man up, you have to sort shit out. Still yesterday, I don't know how I did it. But I went home, went asleep, and got up the next day. I was like, right, I need to look after Holmes' mummy. Need to look after my mummy. Need to sort people out. I'm the man here. I pride myself on being a man. So as the days went on, I'm coming home for his wake and stuff. It was like, and I look back now, I don't know how I did it, but I'm my hand up and I made sure everybody else was alright. The day his body was coming home, some told me, like, who cares about a tattoo when their son just died? But some told me they go to my friend's tattoo shop and get a tattoo, my champ on this thing. Like, who would even care about that in the middle of all this chaos? But I went down anyway. Some girl actually crashed in the back of me going, it was mad, not in my car. But I went to a tattoo shop and Dackie Burns, who I can't thank enough, like, really helped me. He's been through a lot of tragedy himself. His girlfriend committed suicide, he found her. Raises his kids, he's some man for one man, like. But we went in, but someone sent me to him that day and he says, do you believe you'll be with your son for eternity when you die? And I said, no doubt. And he said, what's a lifetime part of eternity? And he said, I went, he's right. Went home, looked after everyone, got my son through, you know, got all done. Don't know how I held it together. Obviously had my moments. But held it together. And as soon as I buried my son, I can remember going to Trinity Lodge. And that's when I just went home, drank, drugs, the lad. It was more like, I was an alcoholic. Any opportunity I got to drink, I went out drinking, went all out with it. Cocaine, drink, just everything just fell apart. I couldn't go back to my house, the house we lived in. I went back there once to pack up my son's clothes. And that was like a 3 weeks there. It was one of the hardest things I ever did. But I couldn't go back to that house because it was never, when I look back now, it was never really, I don't think my son ever had a place on it. Just, nah, I never had a place on it. When I look back now, that's what I see. That's a bit hard too, they accept too, but I held it all again, I got all that done, and then we were living in my wife's, ex-wife's mum's at the time. And this is the first time I decided to take my own life again. It was Owen's month, he was gone a month. And I woke up and the woman's in the house and says, right, this is it. I'm going, it's done, I can't go on no more. Saying it now, I'm ashamed because a couple of times I nearly have to die alone in this world, like, without me. And it's, I'd never go out like that now, like. My life's not mine, it's his. I owe him it. But that morning I got up and I was like, nah, this is not, I can't do it no more. And I got in the shower and I had a plan, like, that's when I get out of the shower. I wanted to clean myself, it sounds wild. Don't want dirty people cleaning dirty dead body. But as I was in the shower, I was thinking about this. I was just thinking about it. A chunk of my tooth came off. I look after my teeth, you probably wouldn't think it. They're like green Caswilligs, but I do. And as I was thinking, a chunk of my tooth came out. And what's that? He's forever shouting at my own. My own was constantly like this, biting bottle taps. I was chewing things out. So your teeth are going to fall out. I went, whoa. Knew straight away, as I say, for him not to do it. And I got up and walked out of the house. Walked down to church. I always carried, because I got him an Under Armour bag for his training. Still carried about this day. On Christmas, everywhere I went, I had a bag with me. Even when I wasn't training, one with me. This day I put the bag in the back and I went down to a church. And when you're going down to a church, you pass my mum's house. I head in the ma's house, she was yours. It was the first day my ma had left the house from all this happened. That's a month later. No one was there. I going to church from down praying. There was a wee prayer box. And I went in. Sorry. And then prayed, just someone sent me a sign. If that was you, let me know that was you made that happen to my tooth. I was just sitting there anyway and went back up to my ma's house. Still she wasn't in there, sitting. Just sitting looking, dazing about the pictures and stuff, just because that first couple of months I was oblivious to everything. I was sitting looking, something caught the corner of my eye. What's that? The door knocked. You couldn't believe it. It's like my man, all witnesses, because they come in. And the door, some woman standing there. He called her Naomi. Ended up finding out that's the name of my ex-wife. And she was like, is your mummy in? And I went, no, she's actually just way. It's the first time she's left the house. As I was driving down this street and someone told me to come here. She was born again Christian. She says, I met your mummy because my mum worked in a bakery. She says, I met your mummy before her grandson passed away. She says, my son. She went, you're the reason I came here. That's why now I believe in divine intervention. It's true, like. And she came in and first of all, she started going on as born again Christians. And that for me, I think, are a bit, for me anyway, I go, get the fuck out of this house. But talking away, it wasn't until she left. I went, I'm only out of that church or asked my son for a saint. He sent that woman to me. And that was in that one day, that was the first time I ever considered committing suicide and taking my own life. That was the first time I did it. And then after that, there was numerous occasions, like.
You know, when you hear that and hear the devastation, the tragedy, it's so hard for us sitting here as parents or as anybody just to compute the pain. And I don't think there's a single person that would ever judge the way your mindset went. And you were saying, oh, you were ashamed or thing. I don't think there was any reason to be ashamed. I think the hardest part is sometimes this mentality of being a man where you have to be that person that be strong. You've lost your son, your best friend. You said it. I don't think there's anybody who would judge how your mindset was. I always look for logic in these things because I'm like yourself, not massively, but as older I get now, the more I see these things and I see them for what they were. They can't be explained, but they're your son sending signs. There's signs.
100%.
There's signs there everywhere. And I know you're saying you're thinking now after it you're like die and I couldn't do that. But when you're in that cloud and it's a lonely tunnel, and grief is lonely. No matter if you're surrounded by your mum's grieving, she's lost.
No, grief's a journey you do on your own. You can have a million people around you. This is what I'm trying, the main message you want to get out. Like you said, during the moment, what was the words? Like if I did do something back in,
judge you, they wouldn't judge you.
Like, but this is the thing. A lot of people, I've lost a lot of people through suicide, family members and stuff. I've been to that point. This is the people I want to help. Seeing people go to that point and think there's no way out. I'm living proof for it. I've been there. And people go, you don't know what it's like, your man goes blank. Manx has a million times. I've been there, I've been right there where it's ready to step off leads and I haven't did it. You can come back, not live a big happy life. The way I look at things, I actually have a tattooed on my side, and I got this done years before I lost my lad. Bad days make good days better, and it's 100% true. I don't always have good days. I've had last load of months, I've had a battle, put on loads of weight, but it was a journey I had to go on. No matter what you're going through, just hold on. You'll get good days, you'll have bad days, but good days make bad days better. 100%. Just hold on, keep on going no matter what.
For me, we've listened to a lot of people on the podcast, and life is so fragile. It's literally the blink of an eye, and that's your whole world turned upside down. We spoke to so many people, and you're saying about you're sitting there at your birthday, just turned 32, everything's rosy. Then a few years later, you're getting a phone call to say that tragedy has happened. It's how quick these things just spin itself on its head. And then it's how you deal with all that.
Yeah. It's not just through that there was my life turned upside down. The guy who was driving the car, like I went up to him before I even buried my son, just hugged him. I have a family member, an uncle, who's on the opposite side where he had an accident with a chain. It was an accident and it really ruined him for a while, you know what I mean? So it was an accident, like he was with this guy, his kids, these swimmers. Accidents happen every day. His whole life's turned upside down, or his times. Like even for that, I'm grateful. Because if I wasn't an accident, if I was a stone car, if I was trying to take a positive out of everything, like I wouldn't be here, I'd be in jail or dead. Because if I was a stone car, a drunk driver, someone was going in the ground for that 100%, I don't care. Do you know what I mean? So even now they out there, I try and find the positive. He's bringing his kids, even his kids now, their lives are turned upside down. Like look what they witnessed in a car. Do you know what I mean? So you have to take a positive. Out of every negative situation, there's a positive. If you look hard enough, there's a positive in it.
But it wasn't the case straight away though. You're saying take a positive, but you did spiral at the start, and that's totally understandable. Like you were saying there, you did hit drink, and
yeah.
I think everybody that's going through grief, not everybody, people that go through grief will turn to substance.
Yeah, well that's what it was. It was just any opportunity I got. I didn't have nowhere to call home. I was staying in my mum's house. I was staying up in my ex-wife's. I'm calling my ex-wife. She's still my wife. We're separated 3 years now, so ex-wife. I was staying her months. So any opportunity I got, I was just out drinking. And I think it was my brother said to me one day, my wee brother too, like, Martin, you need to stop this. Like, you're out drinking, and I drink whiskey. I banged lanes, it was just chaos. And then just all wee different scenes happen where it says, right, this is it, I'll get my shit together. Like loads of things I can remember going to a boxing one night. Like a time thing in my head might be a wee bit off here because I was oblivious. But I remember my friends all fighting in the Ulster Hall, the professional boxers, Sean McCullough and stuff. And they were dedicated to my wee lads, showing how my wee lads picture and all the shorts. I was off my fucking head. I can remember jumping in the ring and all when he won, like, and bars and stuff, like. But I can remember the next day someone texting me, when you're on the news. What? And I looked down and I see myself cleaning the ring, belly out the air. Disgusting human being, that's what it was. No joke, that's what it was. I looked at him, man. My son's not going to see me like that. I picked up his bag and I started training. But now I look back now, it's when I'm big in this an ego. And ego was a very bad thing to have. So then I started doing the training. I was training sometimes 5 times a day. I was going to boxing, going to a Muay Thai class, going to jiu-jitsu, lifting weights, walking. The weight was flying down at the time. I thought, oh, this was brilliant. And in the middle of all that, that's when the videos started, when I started doing the videos. How that happened. Sorry if I'm bouncing from all.
Don't be.
I'm trying to keep it. When that started, I was staying at my mum's house at the time, my ma's house. And I never dreamed my wee lad. I've had 3 dreams about my wee lad. This was the first one, and I had a dream about him, what he would look like now. And I had a dream about him a couple of weeks ago. Never dream of him the way I look at him. If I dreamt of my son, I wouldn't wake up. I'd sleep all day, 100%. But this night I was lying in bed and I was sleeping. This day I sleep with my hand out of the bed, and before I go to sleep I say, "Oh, have you ever touched my hand?" This night I was in my ma's house and I woke up. It was obviously a dream, but I was awake. It was real. And I could feel him in the corner of the room that went on, "Son, I've had you touch my hand." And so I put my hand out, couldn't see his hand coming, and I touched. I've never seen a light so bright in my life. It was amazing. I just knew he was alright. And that's when I started going, right, what can I do here? I haven't got much skills. Like, never learned in school. I was just a wee fucker. And then I was saying to you before this, I seen something all about mental health and stuff. I'm living this. It was all over my phone and I was like looking, and something told me you need to speak to people in the apartment. I remember just hitting play on my phone, and I wasn't one for talking on the phone or anything like that. But bang with him, did this video, people, you just need to realise them bad problems are problem, no matter how big or small. But I feel bad saying this, but losing a kid, there's no bigger problem in the world than losing a kid. It's a simple fact, just not. So see if I can get through it, anybody can overcome any problem. So I did that first video, and I remember just going home, throwing my phone down, and beep, 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 and he's listening. Many people that video helped. See, from then, deny even, see the messages I get. I would never share them because it's, nowadays with social media, people help people, and it's all for, oh, look at me, I'm helping people. The much people I help, it's scary and humbles me so much. Yeah, I'm not special, but to be able to help people, and I just went, this is my calling to do something like this. And as I said, I would love to have my own podcast with my son. That's the dream, like. It just took off from I started doing videos, but that created an ego. After a while, he's married. He's with my wife for 11 years. As I say, me and her 2 separate people. When I look back now, I only see it, we should have never been together. Grateful we are, because Dahi came out, and Dahi's my whole reason for living. Like, so grateful for that there. But when you're with someone for that long, and then you're away from them, you're losing all this weight, you're doing videos, you're getting all this attention. I never knew what an ego was until the DMT stuff and all started. But that's what it was. I didn't realise the time my ego was going boom, boom, boom. Like, you're helping people, which is brilliant. But sometimes I was going home, there was these girls, and I going, right, you're getting that much attention. Started, I wouldn't say treating girls like shit, but sleeping about and thinking there was someone, and I won't jack a lot. That's what it turned into. And that's not me, like. But that's what that created, even though you're doing good. And ego's a bad thing to have.
But you know, Martin, it's when there's grief, before people address their grief, before people speak to people, or they try and help, because You can't outrun grief, and we've seen it time and time again. People replace things. They throw themselves into work. They throw themselves into sport. They throw themselves into substance abuse. They fill voids.
Yeah.
To try and stop their mind being empty, because when you're home alone, you're not outrunning anything. The grief's there and it comes for you, and people have done this and we've seen this. And the thing about grief is a journey. And it never leaves you. You'll live the rest of your life in grief. But how you face it and manage it, and as you say, not every day will be a good day, but there will be days you laugh again. There will be days you're happy again, and in the early stages that almost the guilt of that happening, people outrun with their, and throw themselves into things that just escapism, just to take their mind away. So the training, the Muay Thai, the 5 days a week, you don't want to sit idle. It's the quiet that haunts you. But
see, now it's funny you say that. From I went down, as I say, the spiritual road. People call spiritual, people call it awakening. I said this earlier on. The more I learn about it, the more I realise I know fuck all about it. But the main thing I want, the way you said, sitting, that's when it gets you. That's what my main goal in life, the peace. See, sitting on your own, people think I'm mad because I don't do nothing. See, the peace, that's all I want out of life. It's not money, it's not cars, it's not the women, it's not the big houses. Peace, that's it. And you get that bit of peace. It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing.
Did you reach out to speak to anyone, or was your therapy talking to people? Because sometimes, and you are right, there's people do this for, and sometimes helping people is a therapy, because it makes it that it wasn't worthless. There's a reason, and you're suffering your pain, and you're helping people, and it becomes the legacy of one. You're helping people out there that are in that journey, and they're suffering, and maybe about to make that ultimate decision, and hopefully it reaches them and falls on their ears just before. There's another way you can live. You can smile again someday.
Yeah, 100%, definitely. You can deal with there. At the start, I was sort of like, I'm not in the counselling or anything like that. I went to a life coach before. When I went to the counselling, it wasn't long after loss, so I was sort of pushed in there, like, you need help. Because I was just oblivious to everything. I was numb. I was just an empty shell, like, existing. That's all I was doing. I was sort of pushed in there going to a counsellor, and I went over a big fancy building, and I walked in, and this guy comes out with a suit on and all this paper. Doesn't know me from Adam. He's just about to sit down. He says, have you kids, mate? He says, yeah. He says, have you lost any? He says, no. And I went, well, you can't really speak to me. He just went, well, fair enough. I went, right, see you later. And then someone put me in touch with a life coach. A life coach teaches you, if you go to a counsellor, this is my opinion, it'll teach you how to cope. I don't want to cope. Coping's just, you're coping with shit. I think I want to excel, I want to move on with my life. It sounds bad, but you have to. And I went to a life coach, and went in there, this girl, and it was in the middle of COVID. She brought me to her house. Went down, sat down, started talking to her. In 20 minutes, she just stopped me and went, see all them certificates over my wall, university. And man, I says, you can do this job better than me. Because life, I'm living proof I have to struggle being alive, so I can talk to people. So that really helped me cope. Knowing that I was helping people and no one's name, because at the start, before the big ego and all kicked in, I wasn't looking at I was helping people. I was looking at like my son's helping people, because this is my son making me do this. I felt him with me every step of the way. So it was more him, and it's keeping his name alive. And if I can help people through my tragedy of him, I will. And I truly believe, sometimes I don't like saying it, I try and take, like, if my son wouldn't have passed away, I probably wouldn't be here today. I was so unhappy. It was unreal in my relationship. There was no trust or nothing. It wasn't even, you wouldn't even call it a relationship. When I look back now, at the time, it was just existing. That's what you do. You grow up, you have kids, you get married, you live in a house. It's a load of bollocks. Go and live your life. And something don't make you happy, don't do it. And I was so happy so unhappy for so long. It was mad. Like, if he wouldn't have passed away again, it kills me to even say this, but look, God took him. And I've changed my life over it. If I would have stayed where we were, like, my kids and all watching me and his man constantly bickering and back and forth, just, we were never meant to be the guys. So it's not a good environment for kids to grow up, do you know what I mean? So that's a positive outlook I take out of that there. Still hard. I would go back to living in pain for the rest of my life if I could just hear my son talk one more time, just hear his voice. I would go back to hell just to hear his voice one more time.
I think any of us would if we ever lost a child. I have 2 children of my own, and as you say there, it's the worst thing I could ever think of. You know, we have our parents, but in life, your parents should go before the kids.
100%.
You know, a father and mother should never outlive their own children, and that's just how I feel. But just to bring you back, see, just on the ego. So, what was it around the ego that you disliked? And then what made you change, or how did you change that?
See, an ego, like I didn't know until I took the spiritual road. An ego is, as you know what an ego is, but mine was, like even the wee silly things, like even the day I was getting ready to come to this, and I put on a big gold watch, about 50 gold watches in the house, I was like, fuck, am I wearing it? I don't even tell the right time, why am I wearing this for? It's for other people to look. See, when I had a thing called the death of an ego, but I'll get to that in a minute, but the ego sort of like, you're in a relationship for that long. Like, look at me, I'm not a handsome dude, I'm like a fucking caveman. But man, within the space of a couple of months, there's women not throwing themselves out, but really interested in you're in shape. Where was I felt sorry on you, where was I in shape? I don't know, but everything was coming quick. And I was like Jack a lad, like you're out in the bar, and I was surrounding myself with people who aren't my type of people. Like you see it every day. Men nowadays aren't even men, they're like Jenny Ann's. But that's the people you want to be around, because that's what the girls like and everything else. So that ego was just kept on coming. It wasn't until a guy, I'm not going to say his name, he's actually a born again now, heard him one day talking about DMT. I was like, sounds alright, like he's saying he's talking to spirits and all. Sounds mad. I was like, well, man, looking in there, but I was just scared at the time because I was scared of going and seeing my son and him saying, look, Daddy, not happy with this, happy with that. It's just so I studied it. I'm not a smart man, but I'm, see, the last 4 years, 3 years maybe from I started studying, see anything to do with human being, I'm very intelligent, because I studied it, I went deep in it. But I studied DMT every day, it took over my life, just watching it every day, and then it came to the point, it was 2 years ago, maybe New Year's Eve, with no child, and my friend had a bit for me, kept it the whole time, and I was like, right, this is the day to do it, this is the day, right, I'm doing it, went and got it, and I can remember him saying, seeing you do this, don't panic, just let go of everything. I was like, what's he talking about?
That would put me on the back foot straight away.
So well, he didn't prepare me for half of this shit, like the journey I went on. So that day I went and got the house all clean, went and had a shower and did everything else, had a bong sitting there, and not a smoker, a dope smoker, I hadn't smoked dope in 20 years maybe. I was like, right, let's fucking do this. So bang, I did it. I wasn't prepared. It's called God's waiting room where I went. I wasn't prepared for what way this is going to change your life. But the first couple of things, like that time I did it, was like, God, it's like having a meeting with God, no joke. But like that, you would say that's what colour, that's weight. In this place, that's not weight. Weight turns into more weight, and it's insane. You ever watch Trainspotting where you get sucked in the toilet? That's what it was like. I was like, it started fucking amazing, just lifted my mood completely. But that was nothing. So over the next couple of months, DMT, something you don't do all the time, it's not addictive. Like DMT, you have DMT on the net, it's all in your lungs and your pineal gland. When you die, that gets released. So that's why I believe that's where you go next. But I did it a couple of times, and did it with a friend, and it's here big amazing thing, colours and stuff. But that way, I didn't know what happened. That jack shit what was about to happen to me. I was at the beach one day, down at the beach, Ballycastle Pier, with my friend Danielle. Me and her did it, and she got loads from it, like seeing all the colours, everything else. I thought that was DMT. It's not. That's just before you. So I came home that day, and
that's Mickey Mouse level. Can you know what, before this here, do you know what I just want to say? Why is it every Belfast man has a mate that can get you? I had a mate that was holding that for me. It wouldn't matter what it was. I hear Paddy the Dagger one day saying I had a mate that could get me a tiger or something. I was like, and I don't doubt it.
It's actually really hard to come by. You end up, when you do your stuff, you end up in wee circles of like all these type of people. But the day I came home from the beach, or the pier, whatever it was like, coming home, and my big brother, he lives up the street, his missus phoned me, your brother's out of the house, he was having mental health problems himself, now he's back to himself. So proud to have my brother back, it's unreal. But he went down a bad road, and his girl had phoned me and said, oh, let's get him, and I went and got him. got him in the house. The next day, I pulled up to him and said, what to do? Get in the car, you're smoking DMT. There's no jokes. Anybody suffers with mental problems, smoke DMT.
What? No, right. Right.
Disclaimer.
A medical disclaimer here, right? Do not anybody would think. But you know what? You're probably not far wrong.
But I got him, and he got in the car. He's like, I have to do this. I went, see, with DMT, you can go out there and smoke and come back and finish your coffee. The only difference, you'll be a million times happier. Do you know what I mean? Scary, I know that's scary. But this day I went and I got him. They were just reversed. Kids were off school for the summer, and I live in a wee dead end street. I got him in the car and reversed up to the thing. I had right being I was getting on like I'm a teacher of this stuff. Little did I know I knew fuck all about it. Only the wee small, when I say small experience, even having that experience is madness. You can't explain. It's crazy. But we reversed up to that gate of the school anyway. Kids all off. I live in the wee dead end street. I was like, right, Bino, seen you do this. Just fly back. Let it take you. You'll be all right. Right. Let's go. Floated up the pong. But to say with the MT to get up,
Imagine pulling up with them.
yeah, that's not a half. I'll show. It's not for online. I'll show you the video. Before actually videoed me taking it after. So I says I'm ready to do this, but he's a dope smoker, so he can smoke an old pong. I'm not, and they say they get a breakthrough in DMT. It's called a breakthrough. You have to get big amounts of smoke. Do you know what I mean? I never did. I did that. We small things and still amazing, but wasn't ready for us. And while he was smoking, he's about to lie back. When he handed me the bong, it was pure green, the smoke. And he's a dope smoker. So, well, fuck it, I'll join you. Bang, split second, I'm done. Blasted off. It was like insult tape the rocket shot in a different dimension. But it's so surreal. It was like if the steering wheel, futuristic snakes, it just disintegrated. Because when you're on DMT, you're fully conscious. Your mind can talk to you and it's telling you what the fuck's going on here. And you can't really explain it, but I'll try my best. So everything just changes and then just boom, drop. And I looked at my bro and he was, are you alright? Are you alright? Just kept on repeating and everything went digital. The car was, this is when I had the ego death. The car was futuristic and it was, but I was looking. Every time I tried to step out of the car, it was switching me back into the same thing. I was going, straight away you think you've killed yourself. That's what it feels like. You've just died, you've killed yourself. But when I looked in there, it was actually me ego down. I was like, fuck, I've killed myself here. I started crying. Everything's gone. Like, you don't exist no more. Time doesn't exist. Time's still sitting here in the high when you go to this where time doesn't exist. So it was like, what the fuck? I started crying. Oh, fuck, I've killed myself. Then my subconscious is telling me, you're in eternity. Time doesn't exist. And I was like, you could sit here and cry for a million years. I'm not going to put a dent in eternity. So, well, fuck this. Because they say when you have these experiences, let everything go. So I sort of let it go. And when I let it go, it let me step out of the car. And when we get out of the car, people say when you die, your life flashes in front of your eyes. It really does. And I looked off in the distance. And my son and me and my son's life was like a wee TV movie going so small compared to the bigger picture. I like shit. And then he appeared. When I say appeared, his energy appeared. Energy's more real than what this is. He started laughing and going, Lord, you get that kid on being cocky, that's where we would have been. Why are you at my grave for crying every day? Why? Like, why you wearing that chain for his chain? Which is an Austrian thing with my wee lad. The year before I bought him this, maybe 2 years before for Christmas, and he lost it straight away. Could never find it. And when he died, that showed up the day before he got married, that showed up at my man's house. Hey, why are you wearing that chain for, you dick? I snapped the chain off, fucked it away. My bro has this video, like. And I got out of the car, fuck some of my stuff. I was shouting eggs and I was shouting back at the Irish school. And when you go to this realm, languages and all don't matter. When you're learning Irish, you're learning Japanese, you're doing this, you're doing that. It all means fuck all. Like, very soon we're all going to be dead and going away to this next place. We're all, everything you do in life here, I know it matters, but it really doesn't. It's so quick to where you go next. But I was walking away, I was shouting, fuck your Irish language, and it was just insane, the stuff I was shouting. But I was looking back at my car, and it was futuristic, and my clothes were all brilliant, and my watch was like this big thing. But I was walking away from it into the next life, and it was called an ego day. If you're looking behind you, no matter what you have in this life, like, it's not coming with you. And seeing you accept that, life can be a lot better. We just want to enjoy life. Because days people come to me and go, well, are you going out? Are you going out? No. Oh, you're poor. Why am I poor? See, I'm on, like, into my training and I'm feeling good the way I've been feeling recently the last couple of weeks. I'm up in the morning way in the mountains with dogs and down the Moor Mountains and go on holidays. I was in Vancouver when we lad did a cruise around Alaska. I'm away to permits here in June, away to Thailand on my own. Why are you going to call someone a bogus and that in a bar drinking? Full of old people, full of egos. It's all a load of shit, just live life. But that's the DMT is what I'm saying news now. It's like Joe Rogan says in his podcast, like DMT's mushrooms, tens of million plus aliens. This shit's mad. But when I came back, my brother said, "Man, what the fuck?" Because it comes down like a curtain. Like you're in this different dimension, you're in a different world. But it just boom, like swoops down. So I'm in the street, I had to tap it all. I fucking loving life. You don't have to do that. You can sit a pace and do it. I should have did it with like a shaman. Like you need people there to say, "Whoa, calm down, stay in your place." I made a card tapping all. See, after there's people, because I live right at a bar, people come over from the bar and they had a mental breakdown. I was going like, good. But when I came back, my brother said, I was, "What the fuck? Man gives a fag, you went, you don't smoke." And he said, I was going, "Why do you not smoke for? Because of cancer? Who cares? Look, we're going next. Like, I can't wait to get there." But he said I was having full-blown conversations with Jesus and William Wallace and Hitler, and he said everybody and thing I was having full-blown conversations with.
Have you got any?
It's extreme.
Hey, Owen, wait there, Owen. I have a mate that can get
I don't know, but I know a man.
I know a man.
But this is. I swear when I say this, I would have paid to get into one of them tourist houses and just go upstairs and look out the window.
Mate, that's nothing compared to what happened next.
But in hindsight, you know, going to your own street, maybe away off to an industrial estate or something where nobody's about, might have been the mission.
It's turf lodge, turf.
It's just another day. It's just another day in paradise.
But when I had that experience, it was like took me like a week. For about a week, I was in the house and was touching things and all, making sure I was back in reality, because reality drops away from me like right and quick. I'll just say when it comes down, it's like if I'm still out in space and I heard, "What are you doing, you mad cunt?" I was, "What's that? What are you doing?" The voice, "What that?" Next man just dropped and I was in floor going, "What are you doing, you mad bastard? What the fuck just happened there?" It took me about a week to come back to reality. I had to like touch things and all, make sure it was back. But after having that experience, I was going, holy shit, like nothing can exceed that what happened to me, or I can take on anything. Fuck, I was wrong. Because I have a friend who lives in Mayo and he's in all these, I go down to it's called the Hello My Friend retreat I did once in this big place in Mayo. I can't say it in the English, it was a secret ceremony I did. And they do positive retreats. Now I went and did them, took a lot from it, like, but they're like shamans, they're pure enlightened people. Like these people are living in a different dimension. It's amazing. Live off the land and stuff, like that there. Like you go down to this house, I think the first time I went down, I thought I was just going down to meet your man. Next man, a bus load of people, like 30 people from Cork pull up. It's this big retreat. I'm down there for 5 days. As soon as you get this door, shoes are off, phones away. It's amazing. You see 2 days with your phone in your hand, it's hard and it just disappears. What the fuck's that all about? But I was invited, they asked me down to do a secret ayahuasca ceremony. I was like, fuck God, the DMT, what's ayahuasca? Wrong. Ayahuasca is a form of DMT, but it's mixed together with a ayahuasca vein where it can stay in your gut for up to 13 hours. When you smoke DMT, then you're back in you. But I went down there and there was a couple of people there, he hasn't did anything like that before. There's actually a girl there who's never did drugs in her life. They were like all panicking, but they were all white. It's legit, like it's like being in an Indian camp. All this. And then for a couple of days, the fast, we had the fast, I think it was for 4 days. You just had water and broccoli and boiling water. It was mad. So weight I lost. But you would do that for a couple of days, and then we went into the room to do the big, the Crow Patrick and all, in the, like a backdrop, one big glass room. And these shamans come and see the way they treat Mother Ayahuasca, like it's mad, bring her flowers and all. Mother Ayahuasca's, it's mad, it's crazy, like it's crazier world to be in. But we did that during on the day we were doing it in the room, people were panicking. I said, "You're fucking grand, it's nothing to me." I went to space and DMT, I broke through dimensions. But I went in, and this is where I realised, like, I'm not doing well. No matter what I think, going training, losing all the weight, I wasn't doing the way. I was burying all my demons deep inside. So I went in this room, and they come in, they're hitting you with feathers and spitting lemon juice and all on you, and they come around me, it's a disgusting drink. It's ayahuasca, and you drink it. So I'm sitting there, you're on the circle, and you felt it, I felt this thing coming, all getting hanging. I was like, right, bring it on. Next man, whoop. I must be the only person in history can actually say they went to hell and come out the other side. It took me to hell. Hell's real, like hell's between the ears, like hell's in here. But it took me to hell. Probably got a bit emotional here again talking about this. A lot of things what was really getting to me from I lost my son. See, not getting to the road to say goodbye to my son. It ripped me apart badly. Like, I think when that happened, my son, he was looking for me. Had to be, like, my son looked at me like I'm a type of... I was a superhero. Like, his teacher in school came in to me one day and says, like, Martin, all the kids were asked to do an essay in school about their superheroes, obviously kids, Ronaldo, whatever else, and no one wrote about you. I guess kids really looked to me like I really was something. But it killed me that I couldn't get that road to say goodbye to my son. I know for a fact that car enemy was looking for me. I couldn't be here to see him. And it had me, really had me up and say, but I didn't know why I buried it so deep. And when I went on the ayahuasca thing, it showed me everything in my life, even the smallest things, like getting up in the morning, going to the shop for a coffee. It's my routine, I love it. Getting there in the army cabin in the Fiji. It was bringing me and showing me everything I loved and reaching out for it and then taking it away from me. And then my mouth started filling up. This is going to be a strange one, so remember about my brother. Then my mouth started filling up with blood, and this was for eternity. I was in the abyss of nothingness for eternity, and showed me all this stuff. And then I got brought up to my mouth started filling with blood. I go, what is this? Spent it everywhere, and I was brought by the hand up to the road. Was paid to look at my son. Was paid to look at my son on the road, over and over again for eternity. It wouldn't stop. And I know that's where I would have lived my life. I would have got to see it. I would have lived in hell. I wasn't meant to. And Peter stopped me at traffic. Everything was set there for me not to get that road to see him. But I buried it deep inside and it brought me and showed me all. It was horrendous. And I kept on going, are you accepting you're in pain? The voice. I was going, no. And I was going, whoop, bringing me right back to start. Bringing me through all this again. This went on for my head eternity. It was hell. And then it was doing that there, and then a voice kept on saying, this is mad, generate. I was generating all this stuff in the world being me and the universe, everything else, and then going observe, making me watch it all, and then destroying everything, going destroy. It wasn't the next day, the shaman kept on making me repeat it, generate, observe, destroy. That's G-O-D, that's God. It's insane, mate. But there must have been a point where I accepted that I'm in pain. I'm going to fix this. This pain I have buried deep inside. Like, having to watch my son on the road. Like, fucking ripped me to pieces. But I knew that would have happened. That's where I would have lived if I would have got that. So I know I wasn't meant to get there. But there must have been a point they accepted and they let me out the other side. When I come out the other side, you can't explain it. It's the most beautiful, nicest colours and everything. Happiness, peace. And I seen a vision at the end of it. This is crazy. At the end of it, when it let me through that door of hell, like, it was already here for eternity, it was hell. Like, there's no joke, this was hell. It showed me a forest, like all trees, and then a statue. And then the light of the statue having water, and the water going completely blue, and then a bird just flying around. Like, in this world, it's real. It's realer than this is now. It showed me out there and then stopped and let me enjoy a wee bit of peace for a while. Like, this is brilliant, this is class. And then it just stopped. And that's just like with DNT, but I was away for 9 hours. With DNT, it's only away 15 minutes. I was in the room for 9 hours. And it stopped, and when I came out to go around the room and how was the experience? Some people have brilliant experience. Your man got to me and went, saving the best for last. Now, well, I'm just fucking glad to be back. But another thing at the end of it, when I was still in hell, everybody in the room turned into my brother. The brother was having the problems. Everybody turned in the room, turned into him, was coming over and hugging me and, you're going to be alright, you're going to be alright. He's going, fuck me, and him had a bit of an argument before I went to Mayo. And you tell you say, turn your phone off for days. Everyone turned into him, like I publicly said it after. When everybody turned into my brother, it's because I had an argument with him, trying to make his make up. I got halfway home and stopped in Leithen at the river. Turned my phone hadn't been on days, the phone, my child. Child didn't answer, my on the phone, hear me, I'll phone my mum, I said, something to tell you, and I went, what is it? See, when I was in that room doing that ayahuasca, my brother tried to take his own life. He was brought to hospital and all. Everybody in that room turned into my brother. He came to me and told me everything's going to be alright. And see him now, completely changed. He's himself again, which is amazing. But I went home after the ayahuasca experience and I knew what I had to do, see, for 6 months, maybe 7 months. Every day, my table at home, I sat on my seat and dove into my mind to fix what I had buried deep down. It was a hard road. Put on lots of weight. I did things with eating. I don't drink. Stopped drinking after the first DMT experience. And say stop drinking. Maybe drink 4 times a year, but be an occasion or something. Or if I'm on a date with a girl or something, but maybe 4 times a year. I stopped that and I went celibate after that thing for a full 59 weeks because all the bad energies were with the ego thing. It was like getting girls and thinking it was Jack Law. Just stopped every bit of it. But I thought I went deep into the main. I came someone there. I sat the way I'm sitting here now. I was telling man, right, let's go. Close my eyes and went into my mind and cleared that all that out. All the stuff I had buried deep inside me. It's like through yourself via Bruce, mad metaphors. And brushing it all out. I was like, right, we're getting to the end of this. So it wasn't until I went to Alaska with my wee lad. And we were in Juneau, Alaska. We're sitting on a cruise ship and I sitting there. I had a cracking day out seeing the whales and stuff. And I sitting there. And something just hit me on the back. And I went, whoa, and looked. The forest, see the forest I see in Alaska. Forest right around Juneau. Turned around the statue, exact same statue. Hitting the light on the water. And see, before I even looked, I actually did a video on it. See, before I even looked in the sky, where I was going to be a bird flying above my head here, and I looked over, it was American bald eagle going like that. I went, whoa, and it showed me, that's my peace, that's what I want. See, me and my son, peace, that's what I want out of life. And that showed me. And I went to myself, right, I've dealt with that. Like you said, you'll never stop dealing with grief. Grief, like, comes at you waves. It's crazy. The way I look at it, grief's like waves. You may learn how to surf. This is the way I look at it. Bad days, good days, but that showed me that that's the main thing in life. That's all I want out of life. I just want a bit of peace. See, when I turned my son 18, like, I used to think, son, buy a house, do this, leave something for your kids. I'm leaving that for my kid. My kid's going to be a man, look after himself. Like I never was. I was dependent and shit, had the fan running to your mummy or doing this or doing that. See, now I might lost my son. I do it. Learn to do things on your own, because Greece is a lonely road. But that's all I want. Bit of peace now. I'm just happy with a bit of peace.
Fuck, Martin, that's a roller coaster for me because I was well up for DMT and now I'm fucking maybe ayahuasca's great. I'm not ready for, but we have had discussions about ayahuasca and hallucinogens and stuff like that. And I do want to say a lot of people now, when they listen to this, will start researching and going off. But one thing I would say is you need to have an idea of what you're doing there. You were aware and you'd researched it, and it's not. It's not something you can dabble with. And
100% don't.
And
there's some people, like a guy came in to me a month ago. I haven't seen him in ages. He came in, we're all going camping, going to get a bit of DMT. You know, they're doing it for a party thing. I was like, what? Are you fucking crazy? Only to end up, lose touch with reality like that. Like, you need to be having tensions doing it. Can't just do it for a crack. Like right now, I'm on mushrooms. Microdose of mushrooms. I microdose mushrooms. Maybe do it here for a month and stop it. You don't be tripping on this. I'm aware of all unions. You be very aware. But anyone struggling with the mind, yeah, I would recommend it. But look in there first. Don't just think it's not something you do and your problems are cured. Like, it's not that way. 100% it's not.
Yeah. We laughed a wee bit when you were talking about the hallucinogen, but this was a lot more serious and a lot more awakening. A lot more. Did you come away with more questions?
Mate, when he only came back, my ma used to say, "I see you for fucking doing that." Because I put my head away. Like, I lost touch with reality. I put my head away, but I knew it was an end game. I'm grateful I did it. Was it hard road to do? Yeah, it was totally, but it was worth it because the way I look at my life now, I've done everything. Like, I've been married. I will never have more kids around. Like, I was a daddy so young. I just had to man up. It's like, I want to live my life. And my dad, he's 18. If you've ever met him, I'd say, like, he's really wise. When you turn him the man, you look after himself. I think he'll come with me. Me and him's best mates. He's just the best thing ever. He's amazing. But when he gets to 18, like, I'm saying, right, sure, bye. I'm like going, I'll be living in Thailand for 6 months, coming back, making a few quid. But I'm trying to live my life. Like, I look about every day. I live beside a bar, right at a bar. You'd spit from my front door in the beer garden. I watch people every day walking in the bar. Like, nah. I haven't through enough on them. I want to show me what life's all about, like, and I'm going to live that life. I'm way to Thailand here in November on my own just to see, kind of be on my own, you know what I mean? When I went to we went to Vancouver, me and my wee lad, and then a cruise around Alaska. And see, getting the other side of the world, like on the dinner without him, see the reading and phases, and like I would say I'm dyslexic. One for him, like I would end up fucking in Beirut or something. So what I want to do is to see, gonna do it my own, and that's my plan in life. I plan to live my life, not going up to like, that's why I don't really go with girls or anything no more. No, because I have a fear of like, just say I get a girl pregnant or. Like, I couldn't bring a kid in this world, not knowing his brother. So I just want to get my son up, that's my main goal, and then live my life after it. And my son, losing my son, showed me what life is all about. Don't exist. See something don't make you happy, don't do it. See in relationships where you're fighting every day, but we'll make it work, don't. See what don't make you happy, walk right now. See your job don't make you happy, walk. And believe me, you'll find peace somewhere along the line.
Martin, the one thing I wanted to say to you, actually, first and foremost, what do you call that DMT that you done in the car that you were?
That's it. You call it dimethyltryptamine. You call it.
Right.
What is it? Is it a grass? Is it a
no?
acid?
It looks like a no. It's not. See, people when you mention stuff like this, people think, "Sorry, man, but you probably know that everything under the sun when you have experimented everything." It's not like a drug, mate. It's really not. Obviously, it is when it's made, because that stuff you smoke's made in a lab. It's not really natural. And it is natural. Part of it's like made. It's like, it looks like curry powder. You just fucking, I melted on a bit of tobacco. Some people smoke it through a crack, one of them glass crack pipe things. But it's just...
I wouldn't have a clue.
I mean, it's amazing. It's not something you can get addicted to. Like, it's in everybody's body. It's in every ecosystem in the world. It's seen you really study it. It's amazing, mate. And then some fucking genius thousands of years ago found, because when you smoke it, it goes into your brain, then some genius in the Amazon forest found out like a DMT leaf, and if you mix it with an ayahuasca vein, it stays in your gut. How do all these fucking things, can someone put them through the car and go, that works? It's crazy, man, but it's very spiritual, and it sent me on a road. I don't know what you call the road. I say it's a lot of people. There's a lot of people, when they do stuff like this, they become, it really annoys me sometimes, they become teachers. They want to ram it all down your throat and think they know everything. The more I learn about it, the more I realise I know none, and I'm enjoying the journey of it and learning more about it and stuff like that. And some people just think they read a book and they can ram it down the throat and know everything. Seeing you talking to people, that really gets to me. Like, I'm like, just let me fucking be, let me enjoy the ride. You know what I mean?
There's one thing, Martin, I want to say when we were on this. For you, you were working through your demons and the life coach, and the counselling wasn't for you. But I would be a massive advocate. Not everyone, and you're right, and it's not for everyone, and it simply isn't. And you found what was working for you. One thing I would say is, in some of these scenarios, I would say, 100% you spoke to somebody. And that's the massive step. And in grief, I would always be an advocate for somebody to speak out to somebody. And if a counsellor is not for you, or that environment, and I do get what you're saying, that environment, that period in your life, and somebody coming in a suit and a thing, it's a very intimidating environment.
Well, it just wasn't for me, but if it's for our people, like there's things, people come to me about like being born again and all this, and I'm so open-minded. When you go down this road, I'm open-minded to everything, but that won't help me. That could save the next person's life.
Yeah.
I'm not saying like, oh, that's full of balls. Like, if it helps you, go for it. The most important person to speak to, no matter what situation you're going through, yourself. See, if you can't help yourself and you're not listening to yourself, no, I can tell you this now. No, if you're not willing to help yourself, I don't care. No one can help you. No one can help you if you're not willing. You need to help yourself first. Speak to yourself first before you take that step. But I've learned that.
But I do want to say to some people out there, it's important to talk to somebody.
100%.
Whoever it is you find in the confidence, there is professional services out there, and we've had people, Debbie hosts a counselling for people that have lost their child by an accident, a road accident. She lost her young boy, and I know that people are reaching, and people will come to you now and message you, and it's funny because it's not the stereotypical, but you're maybe the very tonic that they need, the real, not the bullshit, not the hyped up, not the, I don't know the answers to everything. I'm not one of these ones on social media that's giving this large. Yeah. But you'll speak to them through this, and they'll take stuff from this.
I get a lot through videos you do. I haven't been doing much more. If you go on my Facebook, if you go back ages ago, I used to do them all the time. a lot of people get a lot from someone saying, like, again, not for everybody, but cut the bullshit and let's help. Like, what can we do to help us? Like, I'm real about it. When people pussyfoot around things, which for some people may help. That's not me. I can't change who I am. But a lot of people come to me and go, right, come in with me, we have a problem now, right, do this, do that, there, and then they're back 3 weeks later with the same problem. I'm like, no, we'll have to fix it. Do you know what I mean?
Are you open to people messaging, Martin?
I'm sure I've been doing it for so long now. Like, so I have, this is wee bit blowing me away. I used to do all this kind of stuff. But as I say, 3.5 years ago, I walked in the park and did that video. Like, I knew this was something I could do. And I always make it clear, like, people can relate to me, I'm no angel, I'm just a normal dude. Some people would be, like I say, and the guy in the suit and all, sitting here like, this is me.
I 100% could relate to you more. A lived experience, somebody that's not saying to you, oh, this is going to be all sunshine and rainbows. This
definitely not.
But the one thing, and I say in grief unites people, and grief separates you and makes you lonely, but the one thing I would say is, and you said it, you've suffered that loss. Your loss to someone else's loss is completely different.
I know, my mad lost my brother. Was it 18 years ago? My ma was fostered. Like, there was always kids in my house. My ma's one of the best people. My ma's like my best friend. She always fostered growing up. There was always kids in the house. She was fostered kids. She got a phone call this night. She was to bring this kid home disabled. He wasn't going to live. He was life limited. He wasn't going to make it. That's my brother Owen. Like, he couldn't walk, he couldn't talk, he couldn't see, he couldn't do anything. Like, my ma brought him home. He lived until he was near 5. My ma gave him such a leave. He became my brother. He was my brother. And for my ma lost him, like, he was my man, stepdad's whole entire life. Like, my ma lost him. My ma's never been the same since. I pray for her every night and hope, but she's just stuck. He can't accept it, and that happened to ones, can't accept that here. You have to accept it. Like, it's hard to, but they're gone, they're not coming back. And I think if I lived the life of which I'm capable of more, just grieving my whole life and ruining my life over it, I know I'll meet my son the other side and say, Dad, what the fuck? Like,
it's and I seen this one time at a talk I was at, and it was father had lost his son, and he says, I owe it to him to live my life so 2 lives haven't been lost.
Makes so much sense. I never heard that before, but that makes sense.
And he says, like, he didn't get to live his. I need to honour him by living it. Yeah. And maybe people listen to this is at a different cycle of the grief. It's only happened and they're not ready. The one thing that I would love them to take from that is there will be a time if you can speak to somebody and you work through it. It'll never ever, grief does not, we know that, it doesn't go away. You'll hold that in your heart for the rest of your life. And I had asked somebody this one day, you don't want to lose your grief. Your grief, the love, the deeper the grief, the bigger the love. It was your heart's been ripped out. You don't want to turn around and erase that's. But learning to manage it, to live with it, to laugh again, to love again.
Not a day goes past, right, and walk about. Not a second and one day, right, and walk about like someone has a hot poker in my heart, like I'm sitting here now. It's the constant pain. I word like it's a badge now to me. Like, it's not. My son doesn't leave my head. He's the first thing I think about in the morning. He's the last thing at night. It's all me and my son talk about. He's everywhere you go because he was an up and coming fighter. Everybody knows him. He's still there. I know he's not there in person, but the impact he left and the pain I had in my heart, I never want that pain to leave. I know what you mean by saying that.
Do you ever believe in weird coincidences? I was at Sean's fight in the Ulster Hall because there was, I think, Conrad and Keller fought on that bill, and I was at that fight, so I'd have seen you bouncing about that. It's funny how life you walk past each other and
you probably see me. I was off my head because I can remember climbing in the ring and all the birds were trying to stop me and everyone screamed, "Oh, you may fucking let him out! It was going to be murder." I was in the ring grabbing Sean, kissing his shorts, and I was going to see him next day. Man, what the fuck am I? Is that what I look like? I was 17 stone. I'm not slim now. But I'm have a good mindset where I'm training. I'll be back. I'm back at joint jiu-jitsu, or I'm not in a rush this thing because it's not a big ego. I'm not going to want to be like this in 6 months when people see me. I'm just enjoying the journey, and I feel like next week you'll be talking maybe something like that. It's the way it happens. But good days definitely make bad days better.
It definitely was. What is the plan now then? You've obviously Thailand and you have that. you have a good spirit about you, and you're full of the life. You're and it's great because I know we hear you, Sean. It's hard for me and Sean. It's hard. We have empathy when we hear parents. We can only think, but that's not a percentage. It's not and you're trying to empathize with because it was getting me because when you're a parent, you're thinking like that, or not even if you're a parent. There's people out there and they're really close to their godchildren, or and there's a percentage where you can think about it, but we can never put ourselves.
Never conceive it. Yeah.
So like, it's hard for us when we're sitting here till we empathize and we sympathize, but we don't know. But when we see that and see that the life and there's a good obviously it's the trauma and the tragedy, but what's coming up? What's in the plan apart from Thailand? And we're not even going to get into what's going on in Thailand.
Like I said, mate, it's just enjoying the process. It's like the way it came about, like meeting Jay, and like Jay was texting me and really knowing he had a bit of a bad upbringing and stuff. But I only met him through TikTok, and when I met him, he's like, I met you before the wee last week, and he was like, I got in the car and started crying. I'm like, what is he crying for? Wasn't until he said about his brother, and then he's married to one of my childhood friends growing up, and then I'm in touch with you. And mate, seeing you just think, the mindset clear in your head, and you just think and put out there, write stuff down, put the universe, and it all happens. Like, my main goal is to do something like this with my wee lad. It's my main goal in Lacey. Me and my wee lad sitting the way used to are and interviewing people where it's on grief or
well, if me and
funnies.
Sean,
like I know
me and
some
Sean aren't the first
like,
guest on your podcast, I'll not be fucking following.
But that's the long term goal. Like every day it's just I have charts and I go right 6 months going to do that. Stick it on my wall, look at it every day, and
you know the only thing I would say to you about that is, see podcasts or we're doing this and whatever. Go and grab a phone and 2 road mics and just get her going because that'll help people. I have no doubt that people will reach out to you, but also I know from what we've seen, there might be 10 people message us and saying, "Can I get a hold of that man?" And we'll include the details on the YouTube, but there's 10 more people that have watched it, and in a week's time you'll still be striking thoughts in their head, and they may go and speak to somebody, and that'll change the direction of where they're going, and I no doubt save somebody's life from that. So for Owen's legacy to be here and helping and saving people's lives, I think it's amazing what you're doing.
Well, that's the way I look at it. It's not me. It's because I won't be doing this. It's through him I do this, and for me or son. That's all really matters. Like
it was when we got the details, and we get some like a brief outline of before we sat down and talked, and then just when we were sitting in there and you said Owen, and I was like, Jesus, But I wanted to thank you for coming up because this is weird, but I've enjoyed it. Yeah. I've enjoyed.
Mate, this is the thing I want to get across. Don't take life so serious. It can be gone in the blink of an eye. Like it can be hard. Believe me, life's hard. It's just like I can know about it, but just enjoy the ride.
Well, on that note, thank you very much,
Martin. Thank you very much.
No problem.
Cheers.